was calling him an Uncle Tom, all because he got the chance to meet the vice president and shake his hand.
So I seen this and I got some thoughts about it, right? So just for context, I'm an E5. I've been in the Navy for 10 years, just as well as you've been in the Army for 10 years. And I want to say that I do believe that the responses to him, mixed in my opinion, are for good reason. And I'm going to tell you what I mean by that. Two
So no, I know we not. I. So apparently people are tripping because who man or the airman who was in the picture before who shook the hand of the Vice President JD Vance. Apparently people call him Uncle Tom, a coon, things like that, a sellout because he shook the Vice President's hand. Why? I'm not really sure. I mean, yeah. Let's watch. Let's find out.
things I genuinely believe are missing here in terms of context. However, I want to talk about your video first, and then I'll talk about Whoa Man. In your video specifically, you said in uniform, politics don't matter, right? Again, we got to keep context in mind here. What you meant to say is the political spectrum of politics don't matter, because you even went on in your video toward the latter part to mention beards, which is a policy which involves politics, right? So it's like, what aspect of politics are you talking about don't matter in uniform? Now, keeping to Democrat or Republican, you are correct. It's not supposed to matter while in uniform. However, that brings me to the picture that was posted. So I went on the young man's page. He's an E4.
Why does this matter? Why? Like, why is this a big issue? Like I get it. We live in a time where it's a tough political climate, especially being in the military. So I get that things are kind of up in the air, but like why does that matter? Like he wanted to shake the hand of the vice president, and and like he wasn't like JD Vance is the greatest vice president ever. He wasn't worshiping JD Vance or anything like that. He literally shook the hand of the vice president. Am I missing something? Like if I'm missing something, somebody please let me know if I'm missing something. Please.
In the United States Air Force, right? Cool. Two things that are present here that people are not talking about, that I haven't seen people talk about, because I've seen a whole live stream about this as well. Number one, for me, I would say on board, because that's just naval language, right? On board a ship. I'm used to being stationed on ships. I'm deployed right now, etc., etc. If a dignitary of this stature comes on base, right? Number one, you talking to them, unless you're in admin or during the course of their visit, so to speak, you're asking a question to the general body, you walking up to them afterwards, which is what this looks like, is a choice.
And again, what's the point? I mean, I'm sorry. Again, what's the issue? You're right. He made the choice to walk up to JD Vance. He made the choice to go shake the hand of the man. And you're also right that he has to suffer those consequences. He had to suffer the accountability of his actions, whether it's positive or negative. He has to deal with that blowback. But I just don't understand why people are making this such a big deal. Honestly, I really don't understand why the fact that he went and shook JD Vance's hand is such a huge issue. He didn't say, I shook his hand, so everybody got to shake his hand. And, he didn't say, oh, you know, you you should be honored to shake the hand of the vice president or whoever that might be. He didn't say none of that. All he said, hey, I had a cool opportunity to shake the hand of the vice president. Why is this? I just can't fathom. I just can't understand why this is such a big deal to certain people. I just can't.
Which involves politics, right? So it's like, what brings me to the picture that was posted. So I went on the young man's page. He's an E4 in the United States Air Force, right? Cool. Two things that are present here that people are not talking about, that I haven't seen people talk about, because I've seen a whole live stream about this as well. Number one, for me, I would say on board, because that's just naval language, right? On board a ship. I'm used to being stationed on ships. I'm deployed right now, etc., etc. If a dignitary of this stature comes on base, right? Number one, you talking to them, unless you're in admin or during the course of their visit, so to speak, you're asking a question to the general body, you walking up to them afterwards, which is what this looks like, is a choice. That's number one. Number two, which I think is the biggest separation here between people calling him things like a coon, Uncle Tom, which is not even historically accurate, but I digress in that regard, is the fact that there was lacking of context of what they talked about. Now, do you owe that to people to tell them what you and the vice president talked about? No, you don't. However, I would not have posted that without context to great conversation with the president of the vice president of the United States of America in regards to, with reference to, instead of just, hey guys, happy to meet the vice president, because you leave yourself up to interpretation for everyone that's going to see that.
And I feel like people just need to mind their business. Again, like you said, this is a senior airman. And I'm a little familiar with Woe Man. I believe he's the one with the he has a pretty big following on Instagram. He make those funny videos and things like that. I like his videos. He's very funny, very talented, a very talented brother, man. But uh, I just can't wrap my head around why, why are people letting this affect him so much? Like, why does he have to think about, oh, if I take a picture with the president, this is going to open me up to different attacks and different, different jabs at me and my character and my personality. Like, I just don't understand it. You don't have to agree. You don't have to agree with JD Vance. You don't have to agree with, some of the stances that he takes. But the man took a picture. He said he shook his hand. It was cool to meet the guy. I mean, come on, man. He didn't up there and say he didn't go up there and say I agree with what the man said. He shook the man's hand. I mean, breaking news, right? A guy shakes another guy's hand.
And we have to also keep in mind the state of the world that we're in right now. And this is not saying against that young brother. This is not saying anything against the administration, because y'all know I'm not risking my 10-year career over no goddamn on TikTok. I'm just being logically consistent and understanding of why people are responding in a certain way and the context of the video that you yourself made. I fuck with you. I value you. I like your content. I really value the insight that you have. However, I think this is a little bit more intricate than people are leading on to believe. Good day.
Yeah, man. I like what the brother said. I like the way he articulated his thought process. I like the way he articulated everything that he had on his mind. But I just think a lot of people just blowing this out of proportion. Again, I just feel like we shouldn't look at other people, especially like content creators. We shouldn't look at them as I don't want to say deities, but as thought leaders for certain communities, right? When you look through the past and you look at history, thought leaders and people who are supposed to influence change within certain communities, they're brought up, they're taught different things, they're taught different ways of how to serve people, things of that nature. Well, man, he makes content. He's a content creator, you know. So I'm not expecting him to be a change agent in society, right? And I'm not saying that to disparage the brother, nothing like that. Again, I love his content, but why are we? I just don't understand. Like, why is there an issue? He shook the vice president's hand. I mean, come on. He posted a picture with him and the vice president. I mean, I just feel like people blowing this out of proportion. That's just me, but hey, what do I know? Let me know let me know what you think in the comments. Please make sure you like the video, share the post, let a friend know, follow the channel, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.